Okay, hopefully you can hear me. I have messed with the settings on my mic some, so hopefully it sounds better than last time. So today I'm going to be drawing a Titanic Priest, which is Titanic, not referring to size, but referring to them being a priest of the Titan and the Titan's church, or the church that worships the Titan. Yeah. So I have some little notes and sketches here to just help me have stuff to talk about and know what I am drawing. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm doing something real quick. There, right. Let me get the little pencil thing, and we'll start drawing. So, the Titanic Priest, it's a priest of the Church of the Titan, or the Titanic Church. Is this working? Yes, it is working. And, of course, they worship the Titan. And, yeah, I wrote down some little notes about stuff the Titan did, and, like, the history of the church and everything, so yeah. So in the year 0000, the Titan came and first created the infinite ocean, placed the disk that would become the old world on that ocean, and sorted the many sizable rocks of the new world into planets. Then he released what is known as the Titan's Fire, a massive wave of magic that went across the universe and terraformed most things. Well, it terraformed all of the old world and a lot of the planets of the new world, but there is many planets that were not hit by it. Those are the ones that are farther out from the center. And this fire basically added grass, trees, dogs, cats, cows, sheep, pigs, all that stuff. And so then the world had all those animals. And then the Titan created humanity. And, of course, a group of humans began to worship the Titan. And, so certain people, if they start getting worshipped, they'll enjoy it. But other people, that they don't really want to be worshipped or considered a god. So the Titan tried to make it clear that it wasn't a god, but many people still, of course, worshipped it. And the Titan crowned the first emperor and gave him special powers. And then 500 years later, in the year 150, the first emperor died. And the Titan decided that humanity now had enough resources to survive on its own, and so went to sleep. And to this day, it still sleeps. And so, 2 years later, in year 152, the church began to take a very large role within the empire. People had been without the Titan for a while. Some were starting to question if the Titan was dead. But public morale wasn't doing the best, so the church took this to their advantage and was able to increase their standing within all aspects of the empire. And for the lifespan of, I think it was like 4 more emperors that I decided on, they held this position But then, in the year 571, Emperor Roderick, I have his full name in a Google Doc somewhere, but I don't feel like searching for it, Emperor Roderick was crowned, and took actions to decrease the church's power. And so he decreased their power. They weren't very happy about it, but he was the emperor, so they couldn't really do anything. And then, a year later, the Johnson Convent, which is a small convent that formed pretty early on within the empire, they revolted against Emperor Roderick. I'll turn this down some. They revolted against Emperor Roderick, and that's everything that I wrote down. Yeah, so, the Johnson Convent is in this, like, collection of this little mountain range, a bit north of the capital of the empire. And they formed pretty early on, like, we'll say, like, year 25 they formed. And they have always worshipped the Titan profusely. And so when Emperor Roderick began taking these actions to push back the church's power, they were not the happiest, as you can imagine. So they revolted, but in the end, Emperor Roderick was able to make a deal with them that they could run the convent however they wanted, as long as they still would, like, give soldiers and work for the empire and everything when they were called on to do it, and they were still part of the empire. So yeah, I am very snotty today. Let's turn down the size some. I thought that would be enough to occupy me for most of the video time, but nope. So, yeah, the church follows mainly, they have other stuff that the Titan said that they follow, but one of the main things that they follow is the 2 laws of the Titan, which, the first one is that all things must remain in balance, and the second one is to respect your peers. Now, that second one raises the question, who count as my peers? And some members of the Church of the Titan are, some people don't really like them, and they don't really like some people, because they don't consider those people their peers, and they discriminate against them. I didn't write anything down for this. I just thought, yeah, that would happen. If this was real, that would happen. So, that exists. I'm not gonna put any detail into that for reasons. But, yeah. And the balance thing, everyone mostly agrees, except for some people, that it refers to the 6 powers, because the Titan was very clear on that. Unlike the peers thing, he just said, respect the people who are your peers and your friends, whereas with the balance, he was very clear about all the elements, all the powers must remain in balance and all that stuff. So yeah, that's too big of an arm. Yeah. So the Titanic Priests, the reason they are in the battle is it is well known that randomly, well, not like randomly, but at seemingly random points, the blessings of the Titan can happen, especially on like the battlefield. Like lightning will come down and hit someone, or someone will like suddenly have like strength or something, and so the priests are there to help improve these blessings. So yeah, and they'll have a staff with the one eye of the Titan on it, and a helmet in the shape of the Titan. I'm making a staff right now. Do the shape of an eye. Oh, and the Titan and the Church value simplicity, as it is balanced, it is easy, it is helpful. Yeah. He looks more like a monster than I wanted. We'll just redo his top area. There just needs to be an actual size that his head would be. Go ahead and erase that. This is going to be a far smaller drawing. Not smaller, but like simpler drawing than yesterday's was. I can already tell. Unless I find somewhere to fit in more details, it's just going to be this, basically. I think that looks good for him. Oh wait, I gotta do shading. Don't want to go too heavy on it, because then that makes him look like dark and scary and stuff, and we don't want him to look dark and scary. He can be like slightly menacing and threatening and stuff like that, but I don't want him to be scary. He's not really that much of a threat. Unless you consider religion a threat, which I guess some people might, but just make the two lines that compose the staff better. There we go. We got that part of the arm done. I really like the mud effect that I did on the steam out. I'm gonna try and do it again on some parts on this guy when I do the colors. Yeah. We'll do shading on the staff. I mean, like, shading to show the staff is round. We've already done shading on the staff, so we're doing more shading on the staff. I think I may have made the size of the lines a bit too thick on this one. We'll tone it back down on the next drawing. This guy doesn't look as cool as I wanted him to look, but it's fine. And now we begin coloring in everything. Now we'll move on to some metal. And then a light bright blue. That needs to be brighter and lighter. More saturated. That's fine. Then I'll do like a line of blue somewhere on him. Here, boom. There's stuff all over my desk. I'll clean up my desk after this. And then we do that, and that, and that. Nope, nope, that wasn't, no, we don't do that. There. We do that. Then we do a nice skin tone. Now we'll do some highlights. Boom. Boom. Then we staff and we'll do some boom, 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 boom. Go a bit darker. There we go. Do some shading there. Boom. Then we go there. That's good. Boom. And I'll grab you. And then we go back to the painting thing. We go like that. Then we go darker. And then we go like that. And then we've done the staff. And now we'll do the fabric. Go a bit lighter. And we do that. No. It's fabric, not metal. We go all that. This guy's hand is small. Go like that. And we go like that. Go darker. Go like that. And like that. Like that. 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 There. Now, I want to do some shading for this right here. Just go like that. Then we go like that. And boom. And now we'll move on to the mud and things like that. Opacity like there. Size down a bit. And we'll start. He's walking through a battlefield. Of course, his stuff is going to be muddy. There we go. Now we'll go a bit more warmer on that side. Then we go more like that. Then we go a bit greener, and we go like that. And then we go a bit darker, and we go like that. And like that, and like that. And then we go a bit brighter, and we go like that. Go even brighter, and we go like that, that. And then we're done. That was quick. Well, here he is. Thank you for watching. I enjoyed drawing this dude. Please like and subscribe if you I hope you enjoyed the video, and bye.